We now have so many things to talk about, as you will soon find out on Planet Cray Podcast.
Stand up! Vanguard!
Oh, right. It's the thing.
The thing?
He does this special thing. Anyway, I'll say that. Hello, welcome to Planet Cray Podcast. My name is Snowfly. Today we have Hermit.
Hey.
Virgil.
Yo, how's it going, guys?
Ian.
Hello.
The second place Buddy Fight champion.
Oh no, just say Big Cam.
Damn, you got second
You
place.
have Tyler. It doesn't matter. But he's here.
Oh
Damn,
no.
yeah, you're talking to the dude, the top 26-man PPG.
No one cares. Again, you don't matter. Anyway,
Damn.
Today,
Hard.
one of the things we talk about we're talking about the product release schedule. Then we're doing a Super Displays overview. So we're starting with the product release schedule. Virgil, you want to take it away?
Sure. I mean, I guess. Okay, so as you can all see, a nice little graphic.
Oh, we're just talking about the stream, the products.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's moving fast.
It really is.
It's moving really fast, actually. Obviously, you know, Premium Collection and Festival Collection come out in the next week or two. Premium Collection being for Premium, a bunch of good strides, very topical cards is on, and then the Festival Collection being reprints of all the perfect guards and very good triple rares and cards from across each clan. You know, just Shadow Paladin getting, I think, probably the best reprints in that set. That's what I would say. Nemain and Swordbreaker. And it's just insane. Then, you know, September, obviously, it's in the bottom left corner of our stream. Silver Dust Blaze. This is a very big set. Probably the most defining set in Standard so far, is what I would say.
I still prefer the old name.
I can't even remember the old name.
Silver Petal Dragonfire. Or Silver Petal Dragonflame.
Much better name. I agree.
Oh, fair. I didn't know it. But definitely speaking, you know, with the introduction of, you know, the Cross, Susanoo, Messiah, Volko, all those guys, you know, very much make that set.
Just
really big.
Blaze sounds like a type of drug.
I remember when Yu-Gi-Oh! Had cringy names for fucking sets, and now it's Vanguard.
Yeah. Hey, man. And it just happens like that.
Yeah, like Rise of the Duelist.
No, I found a weapon. But you know, then we move on in October, which is honestly the time I think I've seen this, whereas we've had two main sets jumbled up on each other. You know, very beginning of the month we have Butterfly to Moonlight with Murakumo, Pale Moon, DI, and Grand Blue. In that set, you know, we have and it's the same thing as Silver S Blaze with Kagero getting 2 VRs. This time it's Pale Moon getting 2 VRs. And then right under it, as you can see in the same month, we have, was it Phantom Dragon Aeon?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that was another good name too. Fantastical Dragonheart was the old translation.
Yeah, I mean, none of those names were good. They were both really edgy, but whatever.
I mean,
yeah, they legit just shoved Shadow Paladin in there.
Yeah, it had
They shoved Shadow Paladin in there to sell the set because Raging Tactics won't ever sell.
Yeah. It really won't. It won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you stick to the three most probably the three unpopular clans, you know, if I can think about it. Yeah, like realistically the three most unpopular clans, just shoved them straight into one pack, and then, you know, this is a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
No.
Let's not just sprinkle them with the more popular
now
clans.
we just have to shove in, you know, everybody's fanboy from Jira, along with everybody's fanboy from the very beginning.
PBO.
You know, Phantom Blaster and
yeah.
like, yeah, that's the only way that set was gonna sell. Unless Gridora that comes out next Tuesday is kind of insane, which realistically speaking, I want to see what the Cradle marker does, but we'll talk about that. I don't know if we'll talk about it today, but definitely speaking, it is something that'll pop up in the future. And Then we move on to November. Booster Pack 11. I don't think we have the it's something about Heavenly Cavalry. I think.
It's
I think
definitely something Thavos/Lambros based.
Oh yeah. Aquaforce, Nuvatama, Nova Grappler, Great Nature. That set looks very good. We still don't have the art for Victor. It's another one of these clans get 2 VRs, and this time it's Great Nature being Isabel and Big Belly. In this one, Thavos is going to be a triple rare, and Lambros is going to be a grade 4 VR. We'll talk about that in the future. And then Booster Pack 12 releasing in December, which is, a lot of people are hyped for because we get return of some of our very, iconic JIRA units that everybody liked to play, such as, Fenrir,
Gurgles,
Gurguit,
Gavril,
and obviously Gabrielle. Everybody's, if you're an Angel Feather person, Gabrielle's probably the biggest card to ever hit Angel Feather to make a difference in the meta. Whenever she first came out, along with the time stalling rules and what was that Stride's name? The one that heals.
Raphael.
Yeah. Just those two together, you can stall in the time. You show, oh well, I heal and you lose.
Yep.
That was Refros, obviously the big thing in JIRA.
Oh yeah.
And then we moved to January, which is good old Daigo. Daigo's coming back with his Sank Guard, which is welcome because Daigo's a cool character.
Yeah.
I think Daigo he's a very good character. We don't see enough of him, and then we have the Bermuda Extra Booster, which anytime Bermuda comes out, legitimately people either shit their pants or they cry.
Yeah.
Or both.
Or both at the same time.
Yeah.
Shit your pants.
Wow.
It's
every time Bermuda comes out, it has a very good shot of ruining the meta.
It does.
It's done it twice in a row now for standard. There's no reason it's not going to do that again.
Eating cereal. But that's the product release for the rest of the year. That is what we are getting. Thoughts and everything. I think we are moving a little too fast.
we're getting like what 6 meta decks in like the span of 2 months.
The meta would, if this was any sort of normal deck coming out and whatnot, the meta would be shaken up so much over and over and over again. But, and we'll get into this later in the stream, one of the decks that's coming out in our next boost that Silver Dust plays is just...
It's absolutely
terror.
Oppressive.
It is a terror upon the meta, and as far as we know up until this point, there is not a deck to even challenge what it can do.
Yeah.
So you can't counterplay. It's like Zazan.
Yeah. So
skill.
when it comes to Hermit, your mic's don't sound
Are you panting over there? Do you just really enjoy the cross?
I'm actually chewing gums. It should be me making smackings. I'm not making panting.
Oh, homie, it's definitely getting off the cross over there.
It sounds like it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Overlord's definitely my waifu.
Oh,
yeah.
Judge. No, hell no. I don't want to be here no more.
So yeah, when it comes to the set releases, I'm looking forward to Shaharat because Shaharat looks really good.
I mean, do we all think it's fast, or is it?
I think
it's quick.
I think it's moving too fast, and it scares me because the last time it started moving this fast, everybody's downfall came whenever they said, "Oh, here is VSET 1," and we're like, "VSET? What is this?"
Yeah,
boy, howdy.
If you think about it, we blew through the entirety of G in a year.
Yeah,
we're still missing because they are transferring grade 4s to VR stuff like that, so we're still missing those. But the thing that scares me is does Overdress introduce new units, which is cool. I would like to see new units. I think new units would be very, very good, but they can also be very bad in the form of they could just not be as popular as why didn't we get something like,
Heritage.
Heritage back? Like, why didn't we make Heritage VR sooner or later? Like, why didn't we get all these old iconic cards that ruin the meta back as VR so we can cry about it again?
Chaos Breaker.
But definitely, that card's not coming back.
That card could stay there. I don't want that.
Card's best.
Hold up, boys. Hold up. It's time.
Alright.
Well, I'm gonna keep talking.
How else?
But definitely, what's up? Go on.
How else would you go about speeding up things a little bit just to get us back to where we are?
Oh, speeding up things? I don't think we need to speed up things. I think we need to slow down.
I'm saying we're 3 months behind Japan is what I'm saying.
Slowing down.
That's fine. Like there's card games that are like a year behind Japan. Like look at Yu-Gi-Oh. Like we still have never compared to like their sets. Like I think we're 2 or 3 months behind them, but it's fine because we get a clear defined meta and we get to see what they do, and we get to ban stuff before.
Yeah.
Like we have a good idea what we want to ban before it gets over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I mean, if Bushiroad were on top of their ban list, like.
They do. They're very proactive with it. Like look at Zazan. They put that shit the one before it came out here.
that's true.
They have gotten better about it. They really have.
Like they're getting better about it, and I think they'll eventually get even like greater at like being able to utilize this ban list. But like, even if we look at like other card games, like for instance Weiss, that doesn't have like our metas are entirely different. It's like at least like we could have somewhat of an idea of what we have coming into like this meta in theory, but I have to agree with Cam. Moving too
fast,
quickly.
Yeah. I agree as well.
You can't have a meta that shifts basically every month and it be like super healthy for the game, because it makes players almost like
not want to buy cards.
Because they'll be like, well, my cards will become irrelevant within a month, and like, well, that's not exactly true, but your deck does become significantly worse whenever new things enter the meta that are either as good, if not better, than what you are playing.
Yeah,
Power creep is very relevant.
I do also think that this is partially a problem with the clan system. The fact that there are so many clans that they have to produce support for all of them, and all of them have to be relatively good, or nobody's going to buy them. So
that's not true, because Spike Brothers was never a meta relevant clan. Like it may have picked up like 1 or 2 tops at like a regional once, but like that clan was never meta, and still people bought into that set heavily.
Yeah, like the people who really like that clan.
I think so. We're going for clans.
I think to elaborate on that point, people don't buy in. Well, people do buy in for like what is in the set, like it's there. But the times that Spike Brothers has been in a set in V era to stick out, the first set for them was something strategy. I don't care. But to be like that set, Siegfried or Seifried, whatever, was actually very good for its time. The only deck it really lost to was Imperial Daughter, because Force was just hard to beat, or Force just couldn't beat Imperial Daughter unless your name was, Waterfall. And then Raging Tactics, people bought in because Anger Blader was definitely one of the top decks, if not the top deck at the time. Anger Blader was very strong, combined with Sweeper Acro Canto, and the ability to gauge and wipe your opponent's board all at the same time was strong. I mean, they had to limit Anger Blader down to 1. I think buying these sets, shoving clans, the clan system and everything like that, I don't think it's that bad, just because they're usually decent at balancing like what clans come out sooner or later, and your clan will get support once a year, and it's usually decent. The ones that suck are the ones that come out during July or June, because that's the off season. Like nobody plays in tournaments or anything like standard like regionals, because we don't have them.
Yeah.
So
sucks.
So actually, we had a question from Marcus. He is asking, "What are the top clans right now?"
Oh,
I personally, I think it's going to be Kagero then Link Joker.
I mean,
the
well,
discussions
if
we
we're looking
had.
on technicality, Kagero and Link Joker aren't updated in America yet. So
yeah.
I say
now-
going to be.
So
Well,
1 second, we have a tray.
But the point is,
Oh,
geez.
hey, really?
Hey, why'd you do that? All right, whatever. In any case, speaking within like the realm of like right here, right now, because like we can't. While we can look at Japan and say, well, okay, this is what our meta will be. That's not what we're looking for right now. So right now, if like basically we had like regionals or we had like worlds or something, what deck like would you in theory take?
Alt
Is
Mile.
like-
World?
Yeah, like or what? Basically, what's the best deck right now? If we
Alt
win the
Mile.
tournament
Alt
right
Mile.
now,
This second?
yeah.
If I were to go into Worlds right now, right this second, probably still Narukami.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like MLB is not out yet,
Yeah,
and all the other good Force clans aren't out yet. So
Narukami's
Vanquisher is probably still
still,
going to be top at the moment.
Narukami's still going to be top regardless. Like that
Yeah,
deck's too good.
I'm going. Yeah, I have to go with Narukami too because like that deck is that deck's very good.
Like yeah, until MLB comes out, Revan and Vanquisher. Well, until also X and Messiah.
Yeah,
But Revan's still going to be relevant until MLB comes out.
What deck is that, Marcus? What deck is that? He's asking about his.
It's like what, Nova Grappler? Right,
It's
I
either
think?
Nova Grappler or I know
What?
he was playing Murakumo in V.
so
Who?
the thing about Nova Grappler right
Good in
now.
the chat.
Oh,
Victor.
Victor. So
Yeah.
we don't even have art for
Yeah,
Victor,
we don't.
to my knowledge, at this point. Like we're so far
Yeah.
away from an effect.
Yeah.
It's way too far out. If we're talking
But,
about Nova Grappler right now,
No.
the best thing you got is like God Hand.
Or
I think-
Azure. It just doesn't matter. Those
Yeah,
two
like
don't.
that.
Those two don't do anything right now.
Like, yeah, the both those decks really don't do anything. Like, you basically get to hope for Victor to be very, very good, which I think it will. Like, I have hope that deck will be very good, but
the only
Yeah,
thing that's
I
gotta be good is the grade 3 because like their grade 2s are already
yeah,
kind
like
of phenomenal.
the rear guards already exist. You just need to finally a grade 3 that can finally just make it work.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
No.
don't doubt. I do not doubt they will make Victor
Victor
really
good.
good.
And like,
I hope so. Nova Grappler needs something.
yeah,
I mean, they're
Probably
power creeping like crazy. So
they
Definitely
have
speaking, Narukami is the deck that will, and it obviously wasn't the deck that won Worlds.
yeah.
The deck that won Worlds was Pale Moon. Somebody believed it was the correct call, and he was correct because you suck up all your rear guards and your opponent can't.
Do anything about it.
Yeah,
Can't
like it's
drop
like,
it back.
wait,
Yeah.
did Pale Moon won, right? I believe
yeah,
so.
Yeah, for
yeah.
Yeah,
When,
Yeah.
when, so when Pale Moon won, was that before or after Dorian got restricted to one?
It had to be
It was
before.
It was before.
Because Dorian is what made that deck good. Because, and I know the reason why he played it as a deck because people were going to come in with Narukami was the reason why he played that deck. Because I know Nuno personally, he's a very good player. Shout out to Spain and everywhere over there. Dude's a beast, and he played and he explained it. I was like, so why Pale Moon? He said, well, if I don't have a board for them to bind, they at least have to bind a card on their board. And I was like, fair enough, man. You know what? That's correct thinking, correct logic. And it
Oh.
took a turn for Vanquisher to pop off, and that turn was enough for him to keep going through these rounds and blowing everybody to bits. So congrats,
Yeah.
Nuno.
yeah.
Marcus
I
had a
think-
follow-up question. He's asking about
Yeah.
Murakumo as well because he plays Murakumo and Nova Grappler.
Uh,
Yeah, actually, we have a
Nemo.
resident Murakumo pro here with us, don't we?
I played the deck for like a year, but alright.
So, I'll go ahead and
Bruh.
I'll go ahead and lead off with my thoughts on current Mirakumo, not speaking on whenever we get the new support with Yasui and all of that. As of right now, that the meta is very. Hold on.
You good there,
Hello.
bro?
Okay,
So-
so
okay.
I can pop off on that one. Murakumo, throughout Viera so far, anytime they get a series of releases, Zanbaku, Hyuga, anything like that, was obviously a very big power force in the meta. I don't know how Yasui is going to be. I've read all the cards. I personally think I have my thoughts on it. I'm not going to get into it right now, just because. But Hyuga was also a very big contender over at Worlds because, it was so strong. Miyamaru, Nudo, being able to get your hand back up, everything like that. The big power columns and the free calling and stuff like that was just so relevant.
Yeah.
And it was such a big player. It's just, Murakumo has a very big tendency to surprise people because even when whenever I knew Zanbaku was going to be a problem whenever I read the skill because we were based on riding grade 3s and getting these gifts, which I think gift is the worst mechanic ever introduced. But I'll get on that one, if there's time.
Yeah, Zanbaku fucking killed my Angel Feather in a regional.
And Zanbaku was a terror for a while, and then we jumped into Hugo, which honestly, a lot of people at the very beginning, I didn't think. I didn't think it was going to be that good. I didn't think it was going to be nearly as good as it did.
Actually, when after Hiyaki got released, I was actually kind of concerned that Hugo might be too good, even back then.
And Hayaki was a very good card for him. I think the card that I always go back to whenever I think about Murakumo, and why I always think all right, this probably shouldn't have been a thing, was just the reoccurring of Shiryuki, and that's why Shiryuki's down to 1.
Shiryuki is definitely one of the main cards that definitely carried Murakumo.
I still think it's one of the best cards ever.
It's easily, probably arguably the best card.
And it's the real reason that deck was able to go as far as it did because it gave an Excel clan a very defensive oriented card that let it fight other Excel decks very easily.
But it was also offensive.
Yeah, it was one of the biggest gatekeeping cards that kept so many decks out of the meta just from that one card. So Aquaforce, you can't.
Yeah.
If you're on Glory Maelstrom turn, they Shiryuki you, bro.
Yeah,
I don't see a way. I don't see a way to win unless you hit double front.
What about nowadays? What is Murakumo's place nowadays?
Nowadays the meta is, from what I've seen so far, is very much you have maybe 1 to 2 turns of play at grade 3, and it's all about big power. So that being said, you seriously have to consider, is rewriting really a big thing right now? And the answer is no, not particularly. Most decks can set up on 1 grade 3, from the exception of Altmile that really wants to write a second copy. But if you want to just try and block out grade 3s, Gear Chronicle has superior writing, so they don't actually really care about what you're doing at all. And other decks, the newest set, Neonectar could live on 1. It doesn't want to, but it can. And it's still just going to swing in big numbers, which makes Shiryuki still okay, but it being at 1 makes it far less consistent. And spinning back the board becomes less good the less turns that you have to do it for.
And then Altmile, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Vanguard's always been a very probability kind of game. Something out of 50.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
49, but yeah.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna say, Brian?
Oh, so Hyuga at this very moment, he can definitely still contend. He can still take wins. It's just now that we don't have so many Shiryukis, the deck kind of actually has a legitimate weakness now.
Yeah, to be fair, the weakness is the cross swinging.
Yeah,
I mean, isn't that every deck's weakness?
Yeah. I mean, that's until Awazu comes out. That makes Shiryuki significantly more consistent. But right now, Hyuga can still make massive boards. It can still board wipe. It still has all those other things going for it, so it's still like gonna be a decent contender.
Yeah, but the thing is that it lacks like most decks like either contend with the board with big numbers and like crits or restanding. Well, to my knowledge, as of right now, Mirakumo just sort of naturally swings. It has like good numbers, like you can hit like easily 20s, 30s, or whatnot. But when it's swinging with one crit, and or we have 30k crit sentinels, it's like that becomes significantly less good whenever we have more of these options available to us.
And then you got like, I mean, like even Shaharat with just drawing so many cards a turn that it wouldn't matter. Yeah.
Well, what?
Oh, okay. So, I'm reading Owazu right now and everything like that. I think the thing is like,
What is
I think
Owazu?
the more I'm reading it right now. It's a rare from Butterfly to Moonlight. It's a grade 2 9K auto rearguard circle. When placed, search your deck for up to one card, put it in your drop zone, shuffle your deck, and then this unit gets that card's name until the end of the turn. So why Owazu bringing up is because you can just fish it out with, I want to say like. Just add a card to hand, like with Chikotsu, is that the name?
I think he's talking about like calling it off of Yasui, right?
Well, yeah, that. But in terms of Hyuga, I'm mostly gonna be running a Wazoo in it for Radium Atom, because in
That's the card.
She becomes extremely reliable now, and she also provides Easy Soul. She recurs as Shiryuki, so you kind of still have that defense that you kind of want, or that offense if you need it. But generally, if you're like, what?
You're good. Go ahead, keep going.
Oh, but if you're like at 4 or 5 against Hyuga, and if they even like kind of high roll, so if they have one of their board buffers even in hand, they can hit for such huge numbers that if you have a big hand, it's either going to use up your entire hand, or you're just going to die regardless.
Yeah, I think just right now in the meta, like if I'm looking at it, I don't particularly think Hyuga's fast enough.
Yeah, he is kind of slow.
Yeah, it's just the fact of it is like just the speed of where we're at right now. I think Ian put it, but I don't think he was stressing that like the first grade 3 turn might just like you might only get one in the game if you go second. Because you have decks like the Cross, which is very good, and if the Messiah deck can set up their board early game or something like that, also very good, and they will just blow you out the water. Like these decks are too quick for Hyuga to come out and do something, which is unfortunate, obviously, because like the speed that we are moving at right now, I don't think is good for the game. I think it's a little unhealthy. Just it's not giving people the chance to play, which kind of sucks.
Like I think it is kind of annoying that so many decks can just pop off at least to this kind of level when the opponent's on grade 2. Like I think it's fine to have people be able to pop off a little bit. Like Harry, he has a pretty balanced skill for going first or second.
There's
just zero downside to going first, really.
I kind of want to interject on the speed of the game as well. I was spectating someone playing Susano Proxy and they went second. So on their first grade 1 turn, they did this whole shenanigans thing where they're swinging for like 4 critical.
So like so like all you gotta do is just call 2 of the grade 3 searchers. You hit 2 Amaterasus, you get 3 crit. You drive check another one.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
And then you get donked for 4 out of nowhere for literally no reason.
To be fair, like that's your big turn. That's it till grade 3.
Yeah, like that was really it up until the point.
I mean, there's not supposed to be a big turn before grade 3, so like
that's pretty.
That's fine. I'll take that any day of the week if I had that.
Yeah.
I mean, my grade 2 turns on Susanoo are usually pretty good, but
I mean, that was just fun to watch. Like, it's probably not healthy for the game, but man, is it satisfying to see someone.
There's definitely no way to
out.
consistent. Like, I don't think that's consistent.
No, no,
that's not
no,
consistent
no.
by
It's
any
not.
stretch of the word.
It's so like gimmicky because you have to see the Amaterasu, otherwise you're not doing that.
Yeah.
It's just a really big flex.
Yeah,
Like,
if it could happen, it happens.
If it happens, yeah. If it happens, it happens, and oof, that hurt. But like at the same time, like that's not really like a big problem
Yeah.
because like that's not happening like every game.
Yeah, like you're not designing you're not building your deck around that combo. It's just there.
And even if you did, like you would still get that off far less than you would want to for building a deck entirely around that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but I want a T-shirt that says I was there when he was at 4 damage at grade 1.
This shit was funny. I'm mad that game took 2 grade 3s.
But yeah, so when you have these decks that are so fast, if everything doesn't speed up as well, then people are just gonna play the fast decks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the big problem with why the game's speeding up so much. And honestly, I don't know how they would, or if they even want to, slow down the game.
They won't.
the only way that the only way to really slow down the game at this point in terms of standard is to give the defensive decks like something to fight off these big giant like grade 3 turds, which
Yeah.
came
I just think Quick Shield needs to get buffed as well.
Just use the errata list.
yeah, I have to say like
Fuck!
the errata list is not a terrible idea to do,
A lot
but
of things. Ban things. Do something.
Yeah.
That's it. Like oh my god, it just makes so many things free on turn 3.
Like, we need to, like, personally thinking, like, errata the end. Errata one of the skills of the end to be a grade 3 restrictive thing. Where your opponent has to be on grade 3 too. Because if they're only swinging twice, you know, that's a lot more manageable than just swinging
Like-
3 times at 2 crit. And then there's fucking Calamity Tower.
Yeah,
Which
Calamity
Calamity
Tower.
Tower just needs to get banned. I think
Yeah.
that card's way too good. You know, if you play Calamity Tower whenever you go first and your opponent's on grade 2, you know, it increases your chances of, you know, you're going force 2 obviously. If you're not going force 2 in the cross, you might actually be brain dead. Going force 2 in the cross with 3 attack swings with the Calamity Tower, you know, 28, 38, 38.
it's like
Barring any crit triggers.
Yeah,
Or-
it's
Or
just
if
Anger
you
Blader
rode
all
on
over
top
again.
of, or
But
if you
even
rode-
worse, honestly.
or if
No,
you
I
rode
mean,
on top of
like-
Stricken, you can, swing for
Striking.
Striking.
Yeah.
3
And
crit
I'm
each
just
time.
talking about, like, you know, and Anger Blader was brought up. Like, Anger Blader needed pieces. Whereas
Oh yeah,
Hard.
that
the cross does it by himself.
yeah.
You only
Like, the
need
deck-
to
the deck's-
see one card.
Yeah, the deck's good without their sweeper. The deck's nuts with their sweeper.
Oh, Sweeper Akrikano is not a fair card. Well, Sweeper Akrikano is a card that exists that I don't think is a good. I don't think it's a healthy card. I think it's a cool card, but just Anger Blader being able to restand all these cards and wiping your opponent's board altogether. Just there's a reason why he's down to 1, but they won't touch any other cards for some reason. They'll just Anger Blader's part of the shitty 3. We don't mind if people get their deck squashed.
So
or whatever.
speaking of the cross, what about the rest of Silver Dust Blaze?
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we're starting off on.
well,
You're,
We'll start
you're
off-
really, really low, Snug. Just letting you know.
You want to start with Messiah?
I think we should start with the lower ones.
Yeah, let's
we'll
start with.
DP.
Yeah, we'll start with DP first.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Dimension Police.
Grand Gallop.
Oof.
Grand.
Ooh.
Grand? You mean Tiny Gallop?
You mean
Yeah.
Baby Gallop?
Small
Because,
PP Gallop.
oh my
Land.
God, this
doesn't
card
do
sucks.
anything.
Like this card does literally nothing.
But
Yeah.
I can swing 13k 4 crit. What do you mean my card does nothing?
What do you mean? You're just gonna get PG'd like in the old days?
No, you
The
don't
deck-
even need a PG. They can
Yeah,
drop
you
a
just-
cent crit, no to
yeah.
pass.
No,
Yeah.
You could just drop a trigger and it'll be a 2 pass. Nobody cares.
like no one actually like really cares at all.
But,
This this card sucks, but going on to the actual like deck out of DP that will be played, Vlad Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That card's
That is an actual good card.
That card's pretty nice. Not gonna lie.
rejoice, you DP players! Now that you're getting your twin order,
Rejoice because this card is good.
Randomized foils, baby.
But the thing in the closet about it, and the reason why, like, I don't think this deck will be as good as, say, like a couple of others, is grade 3 restriction.
grade 3 restricts hurt, man.
Because
Dude, imagine your grade 3 being actually balanced.
I know, right? It's really weird. But, like, going off of, like, that idea, if this deck can survive a grade 3 ride of a deck, it has a good shot of actually just killing people. It's very, very strong at doing that, especially because it's got this along with Gayusha and a couple of others, and it's like, okay, I can see that. And Twin Blader, that card's good.
Twin order.
Twin order. Yeah, Twin Blade is a perfect card, I
That
believe.
was very, very strong.
Extremely strong.
You know, actually, where the fuck is Dyke Kaiser?
He don't exist no more, homie.
He ain't here. He went
That dude
out.
didn't make it.
He went out for some milk, bro. It's all right.
That was the deck that I really hated fighting against.
I still do.
Yeah, I
But-
mean,
Yeah, so deeply underwhelming.
very
Yeah, very
underwhelming. Like, there's a couple of like neat things it can do, and it can have some strong turns. But like outside of those like strong turns, it's like, does this deck have any staying power? No. Does this deck have like an absolute kill turn? Not really. But is it okay? Yeah, it's okay. I wouldn't take it to a regional, but if I was taking it to locals, yeah, I'd do it. Why the heck not? It sounds like a fun deck to play, at least.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely place for fun decks in the game, not in the meta, but in the game.
Yeah.
I just
like
don't want to
that.
spend like $100 on a deck that I'm only going to play for fun.
I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I'm trying to build deleters, go to a regional, go 0-7, and
No.
restand my Vanguard 4 times a given. You know.
Nah, joke's on you. Me with Max Aradiasha over here, like, yeah, this is a fun deck, right?
Sorry for your loss.
So,
Hey,
If we're moving on in the
Yeah.
Silver Dust Blaze thing.
Yeah.
OTT?
moving on.
I mean, like, realistically speaking, like, if we're going by deck stacks, like,
Then-
OTT's definitely third in that set. I'm
Okay.
going
Yeah.
Blade Master. Shoot me with
Gotcha.
that Blade Master.
Oh,
right
I
quick.
forgot Blade
yeah,
Master was a
I
thing.
forgot that existed.
Oh, that card does exist. Hold on.
Yeah, Blade Master.
Blade Master disrespect. Ow.
Yeah, because it
Cohen.
doesn't deserve it.
God.
Cohen is a thing. So, I personally, you know, who? Oh, Soen. Cohen was the old one.
So it,
Yeah.
Soen, definitely is a thing. You know, Doha and Jiren always being one of those things where like, oh, you know, you need these cards to do things still. God, why? I don't know why they keep requiring VRs or stuff like that to get their full, you know, passive and stuff like that.
Because Bushiroad wants money.
Just to have these cards where
Bro.
like.
They don't even get money off of like requiring old VRs anymore. The set's out of print. All
You're
they're
right,
doing is
you're
buying
right.
it off the
It's just
secondary
like-
market.
3 cards. Like, why do I need to have a 3-card combo to do like my entire thing? Like, Soen reads, you know, Vanguard Circle once per turn, discard 2 cards, call a Vision token. At least it's not like old Blade Master where you had to retire. They had to have no board to call a Vision token. But now it's if you have Doha and Garan, retire all of your opponent's rear guards, and then. You know,
It's
his
like-
Vanguard Circle, if your opponent has no rear guards, this and all of your Vision tokens at +10. Like, that doesn't... Why do we have to have all these cards to do that? Like, why can't we just make the VR, you know, something that can do it all by itself? You know, Gallop, you know.
Okay. To be fair, I think that makes the, like, things unfair. Like when you look at the cross, like he
Yeah,
just
the
needs
cross.
himself.
Yeah, just himself.
Yeah, and I think the problem was like the cards that are just by themselves they made in entirely way too strong, and the cards that need all these cards are on the same level as these cards that only do it by themselves. Like,
Yeah.
why don't we just lower it down a little bit? But we can't because now we're too far gone.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
now if we try and decide to do it now, okay, I'll just go play the cross again.
Yeah.
Like, why would I try and play this new stuff when I could just play the cross skin? Any case, Blade Master, this deck's really not good. It's niche. It might come up occasionally. It might get a couple of people occasionally, but most of the time, you're better off playing the cross if you're playing Kagero.
Keyword
To be
is
honest here.
fun.
I need to do this.
Good lord.
It's a
This truck
fun
is so bad.
deck.
The
It's
next
a fun
one.
deck. It's a really fun deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
It's murdering me over here.
As long as you don't find winning fun.
Oh my god. If I beat you with Blade Master, yeah, it's hilarious.
That's fine. Like,
If. I know it's an if.
Yeah.
Either
I'm
way.
gonna be honest. If you're playing a deck and you're like, man, I'm not sure if I could win. Just, like when you're at grade 1, you know your deck ain't that good.
Oh.
but after we all sort of like agree on the fact that Blade Master, fun, not really that great.
I will say, then you said, yeah, sorry, my bad. Go for it.
Oh, I was about to say, let's just start moving along here to good old OTT.
Susanoo!
Susanoo.
Susanoo. I like Susanoo. I really do.
I
Susanoo.
said Susanoo.
I think
That's fine, Matthew.
16 crit Susanoo.
Sorry, I'm watching this this conversation in chat. I'm watching Marcus try and flame Tabaris. Holy shit.
Back at Pat's store. Oh, damn.
That's a long time ago, bro.
yeah,
Oh, man.
hold on. But in
Also-
any case, OTT. I think this deck is good. I don't think it's broken by any stretch of the word, but it's good.
Oh, definitely not. So, like, as someone that has been playtesting that deck for quite a while now, and I've played, like, exclusively against the cross, like, the deck can clap back, but the issue is, once you get, like, down to, like, the one card in hand, and it's your turn after the cross goes burr, like, it's gonna be hella hard to come back from that. Like, you can do your drive checks in main phase, you can do, like, Amaterasu, you can do all this. You can stack your deck, but it's still not gonna matter because cross is about to go burr.
Yeah, Cross is gonna look at you and go like, all right, you lived, I'll go burr
Yeah,
again.
yeah. The cross.
Like, I really do love that deck. That deck can put hella pressure on. Like hell, when you're on grade 2 and you do like your grade 2 combo with the
Curls.
what's her name?
Girl.
The grade 2. No, it's the grade 2. It's the she got banned. Hikashima. So you drop
Hikashima.
Hikashima on the rear guard, check top card deck, stack and trigger basically, and then you can just use the double rare that's basically Urkhab to put pressure on your opponent.
Kuro. Yeah, I can't say his name. Fury.
Bro, it's some Japanese shit, bro. It's some weeb shit.
So-
Alright, doesn't matter.
Basically, the Celeste one discard card.
Ignoring the top 2 decks of this set, like Susanoo, I think would be a contender if the other 2 didn't exist.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
here's the thing.
Oh yeah, sure.
Susanoo is a good deck. Like, he has seen
Yeah.
tops in quotations in Japanese locals. Like, he's up there in the percentage. He's just not more than
he's-
10%.
He
Yeah.
exists, but the amount of luck you have to have in order to beat the top dogs is like a little bit too much for me to say like he's not tier 1. He's not
Yeah, like-
sitting with the top dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Then again,
Uh,
there's not a lot of decks
Four.
that do.
Yeah.
I would say he's like tier like 1.5 to 2. Like, don't get me wrong, but like the thing is with Susanoo is if you want to beat like a meta deck, you got to hit double crit every turn.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the thing is, you can feasibly double crit every turn.
Yeah, you could.
can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just,
But-
you know that.
So like, my 2 cents on it. Susanoo's a very good deck. The problem is the gas out way too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
once the problem becomes is like, you still only have 3 attacks a turn. You're a Amaterasu if you want it to try and swing big numbers. Usually most of the time it's swinging like 26 or 20 or something like that. And it's not like the attack might as well be like, sure, it checks the card for something. It's like a counter blast on attack. Check top 3.
No.
It's
discard a card,
discard a
check
card,
top 3,
yeah.
add a
Yeah.
normal unit, and that's it.
and then
Yeah.
put the other cards back in
Yeah.
any order. Yeah. I
So,
personally
yeah.
think that's a really good effect.
So again, yeah, I think it's a very good effect. I think though it limits down your attacks to 2 attacks per turn, and if you're going against somebody that is constantly trying to prepare for those 2 attacks, it could get out very quickly.
The thing is with that, there is the guard restrict. Granted, it's randomized after you do Amaterasu effect. It's still a guard restrict. That number will be above 50,000. There's the thing with the Amaterasu column. The highest it goes usually if it's just normal power is 25k. If you put a Moto behind it, it's going to be above 30. That's the only way. Unless we get the Battle Sister promo, which gives +10 for each time a trigger is checked, which would help the deck immensely.
Oh man, that'd be ridiculous.
That would be really good. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's like the only way the deck will be better than what it currently is, because it's just hard to make that Amaterasu column a threatening column.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what hurts Susanoo specifically is like having to deal with like a bunch of stupid numbers and stupid attack amounts. Like you can't fight through that, especially since like you're not riding as much as some other clans can.
I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest. If you don't ride Susanoo twice, you're not playing the deck right.
You can ride it twice, yeah. But
I mean, like, yeah, because you run 4 grade 3s. You gotta ride them at least twice so you get the full effect.
Yeah.
I love drive checking 5 cards.
Yeah.
Drive checking 5 cards.
Next would probably be Link Joker, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Kagura. They're both pretty good.
No,
We already
Kagura
talked about
big
it.
last.
No, Kagura going last because that is probably undisputed the top dog.
Got it.
Alright, yeah.
But if we're going into Link Joker, obviously Messiah is a thing. It is the only thing for Link Joker.
Hey, look. I actually have
Volko.
something for this.
It's just Volko Guide is kind of the card that makes that deck go burr. Whereas like there are other cards in the deck that are good, and here's the card himself. Grade 4. Whenever I first saw this card, I was like, oh great, a grade 4. Nobody's gonna play this. Obviously, entirely wrong. Like, because I was thinking about it, and I was like, huh, interesting. This card just
Wins
never
the
leaves
game.
the board once it hits the board, unless you're going against Retire, and even then Alter Ego will just put it back on the board. But we'll get to Alter Ego in a little bit. This card says, when placed, or none of the first parts matter because you're placing it as locked. Is how you can only get this card on the board.
That's just for balancing.
Yeah, and then if this card can just be normal called, like. Which obviously it can't because it's a grade 4.
You can do it anyway.
I mean, you could do it if you ran Brant, but I don't know why you would.
And then, obviously at the end of the battle, it attacks Vanguard, cost, lock this unit. Your units, one of your units gets plus 10,000 power. Not your units. Like, holy moly, if this your
really.
entire board just gets plus 10. It's like, no, it's one of your units.
I think that was a typo on the wiki.
For sure. But Volko Guide, or I'm just going to call him Volko because I'm never going to ever try and pronounce the GD. That card is very good for the fact that it locks itself, and it gives plus 10,000 to Alter Ego, which should be your next card on the slides if I'm correct, right?
Yep, it does.
Yep.
It does.
Yeah, obviously, our VR, if we can, go to that little dude. Yeah, Mr. Alter Ego, the man himself. Act, Soul Blast 1 once per turn, put up to a total of 2 cards with different card names from your drops on your rearguard circle as locked. So obviously we're taking a couple turns to get our Volkos on the board. But realistically, if you can hit them off of other cards that lock, they're fine. And even then, you don't even need multiple ones. They're just nice to have multiple, because once they hit the board, they're not coming off. And the reason why Volko is the dude that he is Alter Ego's second skill. When it attacks, choose any number of any player's locked cards, unlock them, and all those unlocked unit gets plus 10,000. So you're in a 4-stack that's multi-attacking that have high numbers. You're playing Force 2 and you shove it onto the grade 4. You're swinging 30 and then 40 and you're shitting on your opponent.
Yeah.
Like, this is absolutely...
It's good.
Yeah,
it's
like
very
this
strong.
Is very strong. It has the explosive turn like that most people would want.
Yeah,
But-
it will run you through.
And it takes a little bit of effort. It's not Alter Ego pulling this off all by
Yeah.
himself.
All
Like
to you,
that-
brr.
There's a couple of prerequisites that are required in order to make this work, but
They're not
when
hard.
when it does go off, it is incredibly good for doing so,
Yeah.
and it rewards the player for doing this throughout the game, basically,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is nice.
By endlessly slaughtering your opponent.
Yeah.
Cool. My grade 4 is bigger than what you can put out. Thank you, sir. Die.
Oh, that's great. Oh,
And they just have a bunch of cards that give them resources in hand, like Burst Monk. There's a new card in the set. It's like a grade 2. It looks like the fists from the game. on Split.
it's a grade 1.
It
and
looks like the
whenever
guy
it's
from
unlocked,
Arms.
it's draw a card.
Yeah, and it's obviously you can only use the skill of this card name once per turn, but it's still a draw.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, then there's that one unit that can just lock a card in hand to draw a card.
Yes.
I
So
think
when it
that is
attacks, call a card locked, draw a card.
Yeah,
What card is that?
one of your hold on, let me
it-
check.
It is Counter-Strike skill Gastor.
Yeah.
Gastor.
Yeah, he's a double R.
He's a
out of
double
this
R.
set.
Yeah,
That's another way to get
yeah, okay.
Boko on the field
yeah,
too.
him. He's
And-
really
And
good.
another thing I'm noticing with this deck is, obviously, I can't be speaking too much on it. I haven't looked at so many of the deck lists, but it seems like it's very easy going on like resources.
Oh, it
Yeah.
is. It
It
is.
doesn't
Like-
do a lot of counterblasting. The only thing you have to worry about is soul.
Yeah.
And like, that's really all you do.
Yeah.
Which is like very nice for the deck, obviously, because it means you can free up that counterblast to do stuff like the Counter-Strike skill or other stuff like that that
Or
could just
the,
get you
Burst
more
Monk.
cards.
The blast
or
monk
Burst
when it
Monk.
attack burst monk, sorry, yeah. When it attacks, get rid of one of the opponent's rear guards and soul charge. That's
Yeah,
No,
that's great.
which is great.
No, I think that's a different monk.
They're both called Burst Monk.
They are
It's-
both burst monks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's 2 Burst Monks. There's the CB1 check top card. If it's grade 3, basically like restand your Vanguard or some shit.
Oh, you mean this one? This really bad card?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Wait, where
I
is
don't.
he?
Yeah, remarkable burst monk.
Ugh.
Yeah. I think this card's fine.
I think it's fine. I think if it's ran at all, it'll be ran as a one of, in case you want to go for some like fun play with it.
Yeah.
But in terms of like any consistent play,
It happened.
no. The deck plays, to my knowledge, 8. It might play 8 grade 3s. It
I
probably
think so.
goes down.
I think it's
I
eight.
think 7 to 8.
I think because you run the grade 3 order.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that makes sense.
I personally am running at least one of the old Messiah because I like the draw from the old Messiah and the ability to just search through my deck for anything. So if I'm not
Yeah.
hitting the Volko on draws, I just go the old Messiah and Superior Call it from deck.
Yeah, and like that makes sense, but like we're speaking on like how usable is this card? This card's really not usable.
Oh, definitely not.
This card is like along the lines of, oh wait, Amaterasu gave his grade 1 Vanguard 4 crit. Is it nutty when it happens?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. But is it consistent?
No.
Absolutely not.
I mean,
Don't for-
like, it's like
But,
it's like when G first came out and Gear Chronicle got that one card that's like you get an extra turn, but you
Yeah.
have to have this crazy stipulation.
Yeah, it's like, and then
Oh.
Heritage came out and gave you free turns for doing nothing.
Right.
So
That's-
that doesn't
like
matter.
I said, when it first came out.
Mystery player.
Power creep doesn't exist. Guys.
So like
It's
my
fine.
issue with this card is the fact that how are you getting this on board locked like in a reasonable manner? Because say it takes up a counterblast. There's a lot of better cards in this archetype that
Oh,
take
yeah.
up that counterblast. There's like if you're playing this game, either you're getting damage starved because like opponents can just 0 to 6 you easily with like
Mhm.
shit like the cross, and like you just need to reasonably spend your counterblast nowadays because you can't just go unga bunga spend 5 counterblast unless you're alt while.
And like that
I mean,
that
I
is
don't see a
absolutely
lot of people disagreeing with this though.
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
we're not. I'm pretty sure we're all in accordance that this card is like it's
Yeah.
funny, but is it good?
No.
Yeah, because you're definitely just gonna run the fucking retrain that's like on attack, block this card, and give power or some shit. Like you're definitely just running that as a 4-0.
The
Lady Fencer?
Yeah, Lady Fencer. She is so good. She is so good.
It's like you have much too many other options to be calling as good units, as opposed to calling this that may be good.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I would view this card as just an on unlock counter loss 1 draw card.
Yeah.
Like how I would view this card.
Like I wouldn't even like think this card's good because like people are like you can put it behind Alter Ego, sure, but like that's just swinging for 13k at that point. You can just drop a crit and 2 to guard it, 2 to pass it.
Yeah,
I mean, unless they have Volko on board.
I mean, like, if they have Volko on board, bro, I'm a 2 to pass their Vanguard. They ain't doing shit.
And like, admittedly, if you can get this thing to go off and you can set up that turn correctly, Messiah, whenever I read that card, is not once per turn. You could have a really good turn on this.
See, yeah, that.
But
the odds of that are astronomically low.
you would have to set up this turn absolutely perfectly to think for a moment that you're going to get this thing to go off, and you're not OTT. You're not stacking your deck unless you out here cheating. In which case,
so
all right.
For those of us who don't know what
one last thing I have to say about this is the current way we play Vanguard is we have grade 3 searchers. We want our grade 3s out of effect. We don't want them in deck. We're trying to pull them out and use them. The issue with Burst Monk is you want them in decks, which it counteracts like you trying to use your grade 3 searchers, keep your stuff in hand so you can re-ride and whoop your opponent's ass with multiple markers.
Yeah.
And this is just counterintuitive. It's just CB1 draw a card when I could just be playing a different card. It's better.
In which case we have, the new double R grade 2 that we just talked about, Counter-Strike skill that is CB1, put a card locked, which is something you want to do, and draw a card.
And
same thing, except we also get a lock card on top of it as icing on that cake.
Yeah, and if you have Volko in hand, you play that on grade 2 turn.
What does Volko do for those of us who don't?
We've gone over
Volko. That card.
Oh, is that the grade 4?
Yeah,
that's the grade 4.
Yeah.
He's the big chung. He's the big chungus.
He's the key piece of the deck. Honestly, he is the key piece.
Yeah, I hate this card. He's stupid and I hate him. And I don't know why y'all put him on. Like you put him on Force 2 just to taunt me.
We do it to win.
Yeah, we're doing it to win this game.
It's not due to taunt you, homie. Like I'm gonna do it against anybody and everybody if I can.
I'm out here trying to win this game.
Nah, fuck that. I'm putting Force 1 on him because he needs to swing bigger number.
No, oh god, please don't.
But I'm pretty sure we talked about like the strikes of what this deck basically is, because it's very much this along with Alter Ego. There's not really too many like outsourcing plays.
So everyone ready to move on to what we
were about?
The big thing. The big boy, the Chungus himself.
The boss bitch of Silver Dust Blaze.
Yeah,
boss bitch of the meta for the year.
Let's go on and talk about the cross. So,
the cross.
This card is absolutely a menace and a terror. And we all understand this.
People that play this deck have the smallest brains. Don't ask me.
Wow.
I'm not going to go off and insulting people who play this deck. But that being said, if you want to win games at your locals, play this deck.
Win games that are regional.
Yeah,
so I agree with Tyler.
Regionals. If we ever get a Worlds again, play with.
If we ever get a Worlds again.
As of our current release schedule, even if we're looking into the future, there is not a deck that even gets to contend against him.
Dude, turning my Vanguard sideways is really fun.
Yeah, dude, right?
Yeah.
Having my Vanguard swing 28k 2 crit multiple times, bro, it's my favorite thing.
You know what? In fact, I enjoy it so much, I'm gonna do it 3 times.
Oh, big.
And it's going to be big, and it's gonna hurt.
Calamity Tower can just
Yeah.
Screw right off.
We can point our heads like this card's very, very strong, but there are other things that make it even better. Like, even if we got this card as we didn't have Calamity Tower, we didn't have other things, this would be a good card.
Yeah.
But because we have Calamity Tower, it makes it even worse.
Like, it already has a constant 8k booster that just keeps restanding with it. And then it has
Exactly.
Calamity. Like, how do you guard
that card gets
against
bigger.
that?
What do you mean?
Like, and the fact that you could do this all while your opponent is sitting at a 9k or a 10k if you're playing a Force Clan. If you're sitting here at grade 2, your deck hasn't, like, if it has like an advantage engine or anything like that, that doesn't go off until 3.
Exactly.
You're sitting there with maybe six cards in hand, maybe 7 if you got a draw trigger. Guarding against this thing is not realistic.
Yeah, and God forbid you're a deck that wants to aggro on grade 2.
Yes. It's like, oh, you're willing to give me everything. Like, and the fact that this card, like, Messiah takes a couple of pieces to go correctly. Like, it requires a couple of things to be in drop. It requires a couple of cards to basically, like, come to your hand and be able to leave at that point. This card is a one and done in and of itself. That's my problem with it, is that it fulfills its requirement with itself.
Mm-hmm.
Which we have, like, there's not been a deck for a long time that has done something similar to that.
And then
Overlord the kid.
Am I wrong?
Wait, what's up?
What?
Look at the stream,
Overlord the
Betty.
kid.
Oh.
I
Okay, I
appreciate.
just saw it.
I appreciate that.
Oh.
I was minimized from the stream.
Yeah, it's like this card's
Sorry,
posted-
guys. This is on the fly editing.
You're good.
Yeah, it's all good.
But
You're retarded.
it might be.
Maybe.
One.
Ooh.
Hold up. One,
Hello.
2, 3, 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
stop it.
Hold up.
All right.
No.
But I guess my 2 cents on the cross. I've said it already. I don't think this deck is good for the game. I don't
It's
think any
not.
of this bullshit's good for the game. Meta-defining set, realistically speaking. Good thing there aren't any regionals right now.
You're right.
Like, while I want to keep traveling and going and topping and stuff like that, fuck, I just don't want to imagine that. Like, realistically speaking, I'm glad I'm not there.
So I just got to point out a
definitely want to
comment
be able to go to a regional
that
for the first
Tabaris has made, and just imagine Kai going, "Draconic Overlord, the cancer."
I hate this. I
Final
hate.
turn.
I hate.
Yeah, imagine him calling final turn you're at grade 2.
It's happened before.
Wait, hold on.
The anime's nutty.
Hold up.
Bro, I hate this goddamn game.
But yeah, I'm super glad that if the cross had to come out right now, that I don't have to go into a regional and be like, all right, so which half of the room is playing cross today?
Yeah,
Because,
you
let me
sit at regionals. You sit for your opponent. They're like, "Stand my Vanguard." You play Chicago, pick up the mat, walk away.
Yeah, you're just like, nope, all right, we're good here. We're done.
Alright, if you play cross day at least 12 feet away from me.
Yeah, you know what?
Like, social distancing times 2.
For
Hey,
6 feet
Yuko
apart.
with Porsche Yuki.
What?
Oh, I remember. So like, anytime when Hyuga came in, like it was Hyuga and Shiryuki. Well, Shiryuki for me, like Hyuga wasn't the
Right.
problem. It was just Shiryuki. But
What?
yeah, like man, like I'm of the fact that I'm just happy there aren't regionals because like I'm not trying to see a mirror match or something like that.
I
Like that.
I have to agree with that. I'm not really trying to look at a opponent sitting cross me, flip over Vanguard. It's the same thing, and we're like, ah, yes. not a man of culture right there. I could say that one.
Yeah, like, that's somebody who just wants to win no matter what.
And, like, admittedly, like, if I'm going to a regionals, I'm playing whatever is the best at the time and what gives me the best chances at doing well. At the very least, I agree with Cam. I'm glad there's not regionals right now.
Yeah.
Because I want something to solve this problem
beforehand.
Isn't there a restriction list coming in August?
That'd be probably.
Didn't we just get a restriction
we
list?
got a premium one. We got a premium one. I don't know if they've said anything about a standard one.
Yeah,
I heard there was going to be one in August, but I don't remember.
If there's one in August, sure, I'll give it that one. But I'll wait for it. But I'm not gonna hold my breath on them hitting cross. Like I'm just.
Yeah, he's too big.
I doubt they would hit this before it came out.
Isn't Calamity Tower already out?
Sure, that's fine. And if they ban Calamity Tower, great.
Like,
if they allow to the end, please.
Oh,
like,
yes.
Yes, please.
But yeah, honestly, we've said everything I want to say about the cross. I think that card is not healthy for the game.
And,
I think Kagura right now is in, a tough. Like, the funniest part is like every time Kagura decides to get up on the top dog, on their little pedestal, it doesn't matter because usually they get power crept by the next set.
Yeah.
But now this time it's like I don't know, you power creep this dude. This dude's strong as hell. They have to hit a card.
You can't power creeping this card seems. If this card gets power crept, this is bad.
No.
That's the end of the game. That's the end of the game.
That's like the kind of card that shouldn't get power crept.
If this card gets power crept, give me back buddy fight.
You want that game back right now?
Speaking of,
I don't know,
Cam,
man. Those cards look bad right now.
Bring me back buddy fight.
Nah.
Bring it back.
The cards they were releasing are actually insane.
Well, no, because they're only releasing that because they knew the game was dead.
Oh, you mean like the last?
Fight.
You mean the last 4 sets of G era? Because we all loved that time, right?
Yeah.
I loved that time. Shut up, nerd.
You played Heritage.
Yeah.
So, real quick, Cam, since we have you on the cast and you're number 2 in the world, how do you feel about Buddy Fight? Like the ending of it.
They killed my boy.
They killed your boy? Look at how the massacre
boy. So, realistically, I didn't play Buddy Fight that long. I played for a year and a half. Realistically, I played competitively for a year. And, I'm turned to my award wall right now, and I'm looking at it. And I can see, second place, World Finals 2019. Congratulations. And it makes me think, it's like, man, they really killed my game off before I can get my run back. That being said, I'm obviously not happy with Buddy Fight dying, but it was understandable if the product sales were down 40% in the fiscal year. Like obviously, it makes no sense in continuing the card game. Their power creep is what killed that game, and their player base is kind of what helped killed it because the player base turned into never sealed, always singles, and they never bought sealed product, which was awful for the game because you kind of need to make money off of product to keep a game going, and I'm upset Buddy Fight's dead. I'm upset we didn't have a regionals this year because, well, I said I was happy that we're not having it. I could have gone back to Japan. Japan's a lot of fun. I'm still going back. Like, fuck you mean? Like, I'm going back on my own time. I don't have to worry about Worlds, and even then, I didn't really worry about Worlds whenever I was there. I miss my game, man. Damn it.
I'm mad that as soon as fucking Basic Knights are about to become like a tiered deck, they're just like, regionals are closed. A month later, hey, Buddy Fight's closed.
Yeah, they killed my game, bro. They killed my game.
Yeah. I was finna run it down in Houston with me and my boys, and then they told me I couldn't. I was depresso.
Cam, I'm not sure if you're watching the stream, but I did something for you.
Press F to play.
Oh,
click it.
Oh, look how they massacred my boy. They really did, man. They really
Oh man.
Let's get some F's in the chat. Let's get
It's
some
not
messages
even
in chat.
fun to play Legacy anymore because, like, bro, the cards they were releasing are degenerate.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's why the buddy fight community is coming up with the ban list. Like, 'cause, you
Oh, the
we should
community
have
itself?
Yeah, our community is coming up with a ban list.
Yeah, 'cause,
Holy
like,
shit.
Some of our greatest minds are on the job. Make no mistake.
Yeah, it's like the idea behind the Naruto Legacy stuff. Like, you made a ban list because that shit got degenerate very bad in the last set.
absolutely.
Are you
Golly.
kidding me? Like, so there, you guys are doing Bushiroad's job.
No, Bushiroad
they're
job
not
for the
so
war?
They gave it
Yeah,
up.
I know,
They-
I
yeah.
know.
Like, make no mistake.
Holy
They said,
shit.
"Hey, let's go, boys. Time to never care about this game."
Oh
And
boy.
it hurts, man. Like
Yeah.
that game was a lot of fun. Like
Right when I
Yeah.
started playing too, honestly.
real shit,
Yeah,
man.
I was
this-
really looking forward to playing Dangerous Veggies, honestly.
I mean, you still
Yeah.
can. It just
Yeah.
won't be out of regional.
Oh, well, I guess, yeah.
We got a spring league. Shut up. Maybe.
I'm gonna be real with you.
Maybe.
If you play Buddy Fight in a spring league, I don't tell you, bro.
You're
Hey,
here.
man.
You're here for the free wins, bro.
I'm gonna be there whenever they say, "Hey, we're starting to give exalted flags to top 8." And it's like, "Oh boy,
Oh,
Jared, get on
boy,
my team."
I'll fuck play again.
Like Jared, people that like it's like Jared, Austin, any of those people, please jump on my team. I need free exalted flags.
Alright, so, buddy fight aside.
Killed my boy.
Yeah, they did. They massacred your boy. Do we want to do
Never.
some speculation on future cards?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Why not?
I gotta bow out. I have things I need to do, and I have to go to Ian's house to possess later. So I will be talking to y'all later.
Okay.
Alright.
Peace out.
Catch you later. Bye.
Yeah. Let's try and keep the speculation on like the next set right after what we already know. So the one with Grand Blue
Butterfly.
helmet. Yeah,
Yeah,
the one
Butterfly
right
team,
after.
right?
Yeah.
We know.
Well, so, first off, I got Rising Nova.
Rising Nova. What do you mean?
Who's Rising Nova?
Oh, look at that dude.
Oh yeah.
Bike
that bro.
Bros. Yeah. Like, everybody's like, wait, who is this?
Who is this?
When making the slides for this, I actually forgot he was a thing too, so don't worry about it.
No, I
So-
remember. I was like, "What do you mean we got Rising Nova here?" I was like, "What's going on here?" You got like
Yeah.
the actual like voice actor for Rising Nova. I was like, "Oh boy."
Oh jeez.
So,
But,
anybody
in terms
got
of-
any idea?
well,
So realistically speaking, if I'm trying to think of something to do with that card, Spike Brothers, notoriously like moving Force around, and now that their little thing is like, oh, become the master of both Force gifts. It was like, okay, I'm assuming he'll just be able to either change them per turn or like
Just-
add one. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Give it.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends on how frequent he can do it and what it means. If you have to keep writing different forces, go on. You're good. Go on.
So like, with Force right now, I feel like if you can master both forces, it doesn't really amount to that much. When most Force decks just choose the opposite type of Force when they do the other kind really well. Like MLB already gains a ton of crits, so they just get Force 1. The X also gives himself a lot of power, so he just goes Force 2 and Unga Boonga's your face. Messiah has massive numbers, so they just go Force 2 anyways.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what did they mean? Like legit being able to use both gifts?
I'm assuming that you can just keep adding the different, like, either or. Like, he's probably going to have a counterblast skill,
Like,
discard
yeah.
a card from your hand once per
Add a
turn.
gift. Yeah.
Choose
Nah,
a force gift of any type.
No, probably what they'll end up doing. You know how in the trial decks they come out with the double-sided gifts now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna
It's
be
gonna
that.
flip it. They're gonna flip it.
Yeah,
that'd
you
be-
you can just flip it
yeah.
around. That's probably what's gonna happen.
If it's that deck sounds really bad.
Yeah. Yeah. it does.
Yeah, I have to agree. Like if
Don't
it's
do
just if it's flipping current ones, that's bad. Like, but if it adds a different type,
That's
then
good.
Yeah.
now
That would
now
be
we're
great.
talking.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
So we're all pretty much in agreement that he's gonna do something regarding the Force 1 and
both
2.
force.
He's gonna play around with gifts Just like how the old one used to move around all the gifts, now he's probably just gonna do something else with them.
Yeah.
All right.
Gonna be stupid
So
or just stupid.
next one, Darkface Ghidorah.
Wife.
Cradle marker. You know, as soon as we figure out what a cradle marker is, we can specify a lot more. It's just like.
But right now we're
You're missing the cradle marker right now. Is kind of where it's at, and we're gonna get our skill on. So I mean, if cradle marker did something like put this on an opponent's board, whatever card is on this, whatever marker this is on, your opponent has to pay some sort of cost to restand or something.
Ooh, that would be that'd be pretty insane.
So that way they have to keep calling rear guards to. Oh, somebody died. Who was
fine.
that?
It's fine. Let's just continue.
Okay. Oh, bryden. I missed that guy. Not really, but yeah.
Okay.
Oh gosh, so harsh.
all right.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
So in any case,
Oh, but Tyler's
He's
not
back.
here. Move him over.
Yeah.
Can someone move him over?
Yeah. Someone needs to move him over.
I don't think we can. Oh, there he goes. I don't know how. But yeah, like I think if they put a cradle marker,
So, I kind of like, because I remember us talking about this the other day, I kind of like what you were saying about, like, limiting the number of attacks that opponent gets. So, like, you know, with a certain, not going over a certain amount. Because right now, we get 5 attacks very regularly on most of the meta decks.
and like even on like the idea, like it might even go like way more specific than that. It might only affect like there might be cards like certain tech cards in Mega Colony that restrict like number of times Vanguard can do it, or Vanguard can't restand in that turn or something like that. And that's sort of where like I think this deck could actually be a possibility to fight the X if it has the right tools to do it.
Yeah, it could potentially be an anti-meta.
But it has to have those tools, and if Bushiro doesn't give them, then you can forget about it. If this deck is going to be like everyone else and just gets absolutely slaughtered by the X, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So we're talking like a skill that basically like says put this underneath one of your opponent's circles.
And like limit the restands or
be able to
something.
put it onto a Vanguard without some sort of cost.
Yeah,
like
definitely not.
it's gonna be like a pretty hefty cost.
I mean, I
but
assume it'd be like a counterblast one or something.
It'll probably cost like the counterblast and maybe like a card or two in hand to try that.
And then
but
maybe a negative like that. Like
I mean, if you have to neg yourself relatively hard to just shut down an entire deck, you know, hey, that's fine by me.
It is what it is. I'll trade 2 cards to live.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, just shut down the cross and all those sorts of shit. I'm actually kind of looking forward to this because
I'm intrigued by it, but that's about as far as I'm really going to go because I've been disappointed by what cards do for a long time, and this probably will be no different. But
I don't remember, what did the original Ghidorah do?
The original G-era Ghidorah basically paralyzed a column. So it took an entire column of rear guards and said, no, you can't restand. And I think they also had cards that prevented calling. So basically, it was almost like a lock, except that the card could still intercept, I think.
Right. Okay.
So those spikes next to her, I never really noticed in this art, but when I went back and looked at her old art, those silver spikes next to her body are actually like part of her legs.
Yeah, they are.
Man.
She's a walking turret.
Yeah. I'm definitely
sexy Urgot.
I'm definitely of the less popular opinion. I think the cradle markers will be on the user side. So I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm like this hardcore like square. I can't see things outside the box, and a cradle is usually like something that's safe for raising something. And she's always talking about her children in like the lore and
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
It's a possibility that it ends up on your side, but it's going to be defensive in nature.
Yeah.
Like for
Most
sure.
likely.
There's no way they look at Mega Colony and say, "Hey, yeah, you were defensive before, but now we're going to make you offensive."
Yeah.
It's like, what? That would make no sense. That would make this deck absolutely just awful. Because there'd be no support for it.
I just really hope that it does something to raise itself up to at least be notable, because Mega Colony used to be relatively notable, like way back in the day. It had its odd moments.
It was the same play as it did in G, except the G version era was arguably better. It's like a niche deck that occasionally pops up, but like most of the time, like, is it good enough? No, not really. But it's fun at the very least.
Yeah. All right, so next one. I know Tiberius is really looking forward to this one. Luard.
Yeah.
And we might as well, since we got Luard, kind of like look at Morfessa
Wait,
as well.
don't we want to talk Gaia before we talk Shadow Paladin hype? Shadow Paladins, talk Gaia before.
Who?
It doesn't really matter what order we really go in. But in any case, Luard, this is probably going to be another grade 4 deck, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This is very likely going to be Luard swings and goes and gets his grade 4 variant from somewhere, rides it on top of it, and it multi-attacks and does something with grade 1s.
Yeah, it seems to be focused around filling their board with grade 1s.
Yeah,
Shadow Paladin grade 1 rush?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to end up being. And like most of your good cards come out of your grade 1 slot, because you do have... Oh. But in any case, it's like, this is going to be sort of like a pseudo-rush deck. If we get a variant of Belial ever again, this game's over. Because Belial's busted.
For those of us who didn't play in G, can you explain what that card did?
So Belial was a crit trigger that whenever you retired it, draw a card. Its secondary effect in drop zone, I think it was ritual sum number, which means number of grade 1s in your drop zone. If you have that specified ritual, put this back to the deck.
Oh, so you just get to add crits back to your deck.
Yeah, so you add the crits back to your deck. Next turn, if you didn't do anything with them, you pull them back out, sack them, draw cards, keep doing the cycle.
Yeah.
So it made Luard easily have like 14, 15, 16 card hands at the end of their turn, and it's like, what?
Yeah. Luard was pretty good. I actually got out of G around the time that Luard came out. So.
Yes, Luard was a menace for a long, long time. But in any case, this is going to be like a weird grade 1, probably has a restanding grade 4 Vanguard type of thing. Or it ends up sort of like Asha and Altmile, where it has 2 different grade 3s and it does something with both of them.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm actually excited for this deck. I definitely enjoy like the aesthetic of Luard in general. It's pretty neat.
He is pretty.
I don't have the picture, but the one that looks like this, the one kind of like the Morfessa one, is amazing.
Yeah, like the I think those are the highest rated versions of the card. And it's like, oh dang, tempting me to wail yet again.
With $600 cards, by the way, guys.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, if you thought my max rarity Asha was expensive, oh boy, you don't know anything.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah,
like in Jira, Luard was like the only other deck other than Narukami Murakumo that really caught my attention.
Yeah.
So I'm honestly kind of interested in seeing how they retrain him.
Yeah, and again, like they'll retrain him probably into some grade 1 rush variant that's gonna be like at least more interesting. But
can we obviously like we could say no, but Trey or Tavares is like, if we have that spot open now, I don't know. He said he's wanting to jump in, but that's on him. That's on y'all. I don't care.
Sure.
That's concept to have.
I mean-
Jump in, dude.
Yeah, if he wants to jump in. Well, like, I just don't know how to get him into the chat.
He can get in himself. He's a moderator at the Discord.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's the mod. He could just
Just hop
probably.
in.
You just
Yeah.
hackerman his way in.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of had expectations of Gridor to be like a anti-meta to the cross. Do we have any expectations of Luard holding a candle to the cross?
It might. The thing is that I can't expect this deck to start competing at grade 1 and 2. Like, it's very likely it has to ride onto Luard to start really getting a bunch of good numbers. That's the thing.
Trey's about to join.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Let's continue. Yeah. So first off, got it up on the screen now. I think these are very good looking cards.
These
Yes.
cards look so good.
Get ready for $2,000 ASRs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good luck,
So-
boys. If you're trying to whale, oh boy, they'll take your wallet real quick.
Virgil, I couldn't jump in because I'm not on my
You're
personal
fine.
account.
You're fine. Just but yeah. So these cards look really good. Hopefully Luard is good.
I just don't see any reason why it wouldn't be.
Yeah, like
Every time they've made a shout-out deck, it's always been pretty strong.
For like a set,
It's
maybe two.
Even Claire was like, yes, it's not broken, but like the cards are good.
Yeah.
yeah, like
It's just
Shadow's always been
gimmick
good,
is
right?
not.
All right. So that being said, I think we move on to somebody else.
Somebody else? Oh, Gaia?
Okay, so first off, Gaia, I might have missed a card because I was going through a bunch of them. Gaia, what is Gaia?
This weird
Oh,
Triceratops.
yes, Trey.
Oh, the dinosaurs. I don't care about
the
those.
Tache Kaze one.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, they
all right. The ones that nobody really cares about. That's why they're not in here.
Hey, okay, it might be something where it can finally, that deck finally becomes playable again after Anger Blader got hit to 1. Rest in peace.
Nachikaze won Worlds.
Rest in peace, my boy.
I'm just talking shit,
they?
yo.
Didn't they? Wasn't that why Anger Blader got hit?
No.
No.
No. Pale Moon
No.
World.
No.
Yeah, Pale
you're
Moon
right.
won World. No,
Yeah.
Anger Blader just made for some really, really nutty turns that people complained about and eventually got hit. I don't think that deck did anything in regionals, to my knowledge.
Okay.
No, because they killed it before it could do anything.
Yeah, so they really just hit him because they really felt like it, and I don't really know why.
I mean, they
because,
hit
like,
it for damn good reason.
Yeah, if you hit the sweeper dream, like you just die.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Didn't make it.
oh, trust me, I was at the front end of that one.
Yeah, I played
Very
that deck for a
often.
month.
I played against that deck a lot whenever Riviere first came out. It's like Riviere's the top dog, but it's still whenever it hit that turn, it was like, I'm dead, guys, I'm
So,
dead.
do we have any idea what this guy might do?
It is.
Unquote.
He's most likely going to be work with equip gauges, obviously.
He's
that's where-
he's
Whoa.
I
probably
did say he was going to work with the quick trade.
he's probably
I
going
have
to,
no clue how that deck works.
he's very.
I don't care, honestly. If we wanted to skip past Gaia, that's fine.
But my thought process on like what he's probably going to end up doing is he'll probably, I think, will change Tache Kaze from like a very rearguard centric to
Vanguard centric.
well, yeah, I think he's going to eat something and get effects based on the number of equip gauges on the thing eaten.
I mean, isn't that kind
So-
of Tachi's whole thing?
No.
No. So like,
I don't know anything about Tachis. They
Yeah.
used to eat their rear guards. I know that, like in
They still eat their rear guards, but most of the time it's about like the Vanguard like eats the rear guard, gets like maybe plus 10k, and then it's up to the rear guards to really like make up the rest of it.
Ah.
Anger Blader turned it off of that and instead said, "Hey, I'm not going. The only reason I'm eating cards is to retire the opponent's cards. But if you have equip gauges, I'm going to restand you, and you're going to swing."
okay.
So
So
I think that I think this is gonna turn it back, saying like, "Hey, if you eat a thing with like 1 or more, you're gonna get plus 10,000 power. If you eat something with 3 or more, you're going to get plus a crit. If you eat something with 5 or more, you're going to get guard restrict or something like that. I think that's probably what he's going to end up doing.
And
That sounds pretty cool.
I don't pay attention to Tachis because not my style at all. They are Excel, right? They haven't been relevant so long.
They're Excel. They're Excel.
Yeah, that
Really,
always.
they were an Excel deck that played like a Force deck.
Yeah, that always threw me off, honestly.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised they made Tachi's excel in the first place.
Yeah,
Like, they always need
That's
more like.
definitely a conversation we can have.
But yeah, so this guy, you're thinking he's going to be more Vanguard centric?
yeah, I think they tried the Anger Blader thing where they made it rearguard centric. That obviously didn't work. They hit Anger Blader, said, no, you don't get to do that. So I think they're probably going to end up going back to being very Vanguard centric.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to run like Dark Rex or the other one that they came out? Or is it just, or do you think they're going to go Gigarex? Or do you think it's just going to be all new cards?
I think it's going to be a lot of new cards. Obviously, there are going to be some rear guard equip gauge things that are just way too good to not run sweeping. I think his name's Sweeping Dragon or something like that.
Sweeper Acro Cantor.
Yeah, that card is very, very good. Gets a lot of equip gauges. Gets
Card's
big. So
I'm assuming they're going to run like 1 or 2 copies of the Triple R Grade 3 from the first set. I forget who exactly it was.
Tyrant Deathrex.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
He gets thick.
probably will.
Well, I was actually thinking if he was going to eat, had a bunch of equations like you were saying, maybe that guy takes every.
You're breaking up, Herman.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
sorry.
He's talking
I was
about
thinking
the one that moves
Savage
a quick
King.
gauge.
It's like
Savage King.
Savage King is like interesting because he doesn't give himself. He doesn't produce it himself. He sort of takes from everything else, which is okay. I think it's gonna run something so like the Triceratops that whenever it's retired, if you have equipped gauges, counterblast 1, add like I think 1 or 2 of them, or something like that. I think that card will definitely be ran because that's free advantage, and there's no reason not to run something like that, unless your deck just takes up way too much counterblast to actually feasibly run that card.
Makes sense.
All right.
So real quick, Ian, I was looking through the chat. What are you talking about Belial Owl coming back? It is coming back.
The crit
Probably,
signal.
Crit
it's a
Sentinel.
crit sentinel. I'm saying
Nah,
as
but
it-
cards with
The
unretired
effect,
draw,
the
I
effect.
just want them back.
No,
We
no.
don't have any.
No, we don't need that back.
It's fine if it has a cost, but like,
No.
why?
No. That's a slippery slope. I'm
If
not
anyone's
down.
watching though, and you're planning on playing Lured, you should probably pick up Karen because if he's Superior Calls Grade 1, that card becomes free.
That's fair.
If
That's a very high chance at this point.
I mean,
And at worst, you're out $12.
yeah.
Yeah.
Karen's not expensive.
either way, so moving on. Do we want to talk about a big fuck off panda?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
fuck off, Panda. I couldn't even give a word on this.
Wait.
I feel like he's gonna do completely new things.
Wait.
Six.
And this guy isn't even from the same set, is he?
No,
Yeah, he is.
No.
no.
Wait,
it's from
no.
the next
Oh, is
set.
he not?
It's
No,
from-
Why are
he's
we?
not.
Why are we skipping the hype man? Why are we skipping the Overlord?
What?
What?
Phantom Blaster
Blaster.
Overlord.
Oh.
Oh, peanut butter.
Oh.
Peanut butter Overlord.
Oh, well.
Oh, here he is. Sorry.
Let me explain to you how the old one worked. Cross rides require the original copy to be in Soul. This is probably going to be very similar flavor, where it's going to want the card in Soul.
Actually, Ian, they confirmed it is a cross ride to Phantom Blaster Dragon.
Okay,
Meaning you have to have exactly Phantom Blaster Dragon.
so let me explain to you why this is
Ouch.
bad in our meta. The cross will kill you in a turn.
Yep.
You
Okay,
only.
so it
Yeah.
depends on if they can get a card that can shove Phantom Blaster into the.
I mean,
into the.
What if
they get
PBO
that-
shoves them in there?
If they could do that, then that deck might be okay, depending on how powerful it is. But if we don't get that, worst case scenario, the cross kills you in a turn, and you have to ride a really, really bad grade 3 for this meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
because that's why they specifically said it's a cross ride versus like the cross and other cards not being a cross ride. Because cross rides are defined in their game as requiring the specific card.
In which case, it's like
the cross doesn't require a specific card; it just requires an overlord.
Which is like, no, probably will not be good enough to be a real contender. Lured, if you're playing Shadow Paladin, you're probably playing Lured. Let's be honest here.
Or Cleric Sword, but that's just because if you're trying to meme on people.
Yeah, Cleric Sword is not going to be like a real meta contender. If you're trying to meme, it's fine. But
Lured was always nice and consistent, and like they had a thing where they made cards that enjoyed the grade 1 rush, but like the best cards that they made were just retire and get card advantage.
And like this might go along the same flavor, maybe, or
I feel like this is going to be one of those tempo decks that you just keep retiring and gaining advantage, but like it's not going to be good because it's too slow, and then Lured will be good because it rushes straight out the gate.
Yeah.
While also getting some card advantage.
Which that's a realistic thing to it.
Alright, big fuck off panda time.
Big fuck off panda time.
Man, real quick on Lured. If we get a card that retires my board, I'm definitely running Cleric Sword as a backup.
So, Big Belly. Big Belly.
Hey, I got a big belly.
Not the two little pandas in the front, the one with the pen.
That's cute. Like the best part of the card. Zoom in on it. Zoom in.
They're cute.
Sure. All right. Big Belly at 100% power. Big Belly at 99%.
Oh yeah, that dude's cute as hell. Oh man. Big Belly.
Those little guys.
Aww.
So, probably not going to do something with lottery, right?
No,
I don't think so, because they already confirmed Isabel support.
Yeah.
Isabel's kind of like the end-all be-all for lottery.
Yeah.
I think this deck will break away similar to how whatever the Tachikaze card is going to
break
it's
away
gonna
from
sort
a
of
quick rage.
break the mold of what the clan is. I think Big Belly's going to do the same.
Gotcha.
It's just I think it's going to end up being a bunch of like power gain and
retire the card.
Retire it and like get a bunch of effects while retiring, similar to how
probably gonna go back to OG.
Yeah, I kind of want to touch upon that because I found it funny back in the old days when Big Billy was like, "Okay, give your guard power," and then what was it? After it swung, it killed itself.
At the end of turn.
At the end of turn, that's like cramming so much knowledge into a thing that they overload and kill them.
Yeah, it's a college student. They're all have burnout. That panda looks young. That panda looks young, but it's actually working on its thesis.
Yep. So, I definitely think like this is going to be a mold breaker for the clan. I think it's going to be very, very interesting to say the least. I don't know how good it'll be. It depends on how many good effects you get for retiring your units.
Yeah, I mean they don't really have the retire unit support right now, so they're gonna have to come up with a lot of it.
It's not gonna be like the Tachikaze unit. It's gonna be like, well, we have to print all these cards, and Isabel's gonna sort of take a back burner in the lottery RNG fest over there. In which case, don't play that deck.
It's not really RNG because Isabel gets both effects. So
I mean, but that entire deck has been a whole bunch of just well, I'm gonna build things and see what happens where it is.
Yeah. So speaking of Isabel, how the hell can they do anything else to the lottery? They already have. Oh, you just you get all the effects of everything that you do.
I mean, the way I see it is...
I thought Isabel was just, like, for her. Is it for the entire...
It's for everything.
Is it? Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
It's on place, all skills that send cards that mills a card, you get both effects.
No, it's when your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you perform both of them.
Yeah.
Which is,
it's on place.
Realistically gonna be like this might end up being a recursion thing where it doesn't need to be rewritten every turn, and that's probably gonna,
or like, on attack do this.
I think that's what it's gonna end up being, and realistically, it's gonna like mitigate the RNG fest, but it's still an RNG fest. Like all you do is run around milling a bunch of cards and seeing what happens. You either nut or you don't. It's like that's how this deck sort of has always worked, and it can be good, but it has to mill correctly. That's about it.
Okay. So, moving on. Shiranui.
No,
That's Isabel.
get rid of that shit.
So, this card,
Fuck that guy.
if this is a rehash, and it does basically what the old one did, this card is gonna rip cards from hand.
Yeah. Also, hey, I just wanna make a correction. You don't have to keep rewriting Isabel to get her perform both the effects.
You just have to
It's a continuous
keep
effect.
rewriting her to get her first effect off.
No, you have to keep rewriting her to get her second effect off. If your opponent's a grade 3, you get both of your lottery effects. You use the rear guards to do lottery at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not like super concerned that Isabel's going to be in the meta because, again, most of your rear guards are what you exist.
Yeah. I'm just making observation. But yes, Shiranui.
This card, if it's a rehash, is going to rip cards out of hand, and it's going to be absolutely a terror if it's good. If it has low cost, but if it has high cost, this deck's going to suck and keep Nubatama where it basically is right now, where it's fringely played for fun, and that's about it.
Okay. So do you think Dominate's coming back?
No.
No. I really hope not.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's probably gonna. It's Obero, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
It
yeah,
is
it's Obero.
It is Obero.
I don't know, man.
I hope not, but
I don't think he's gonna rip cards from hand. I think he'll do like. I think he might like counter. Like even then, I don't know what they could do to make him like good without breaking him. Honestly.
that's sort of where I'm at. It's like
because like both of his old skills were just good. Like
They could try and think of it more like after image Shiranui deck.
yeah.
Like, I don't know.
But that wasn't Obero. They would have just printed regular Shiranui then.
yeah.
Well, so I have no clue, honestly. Like he's a big dragon with chains. That, chains and whips excite him. I guess.
I'm actually kind of interested in Nubatama again.
Chains and whips excite Virgil as well.
Yes, they do.
Like, I can't really like go off and say like he's gonna do all these things because like if they brought him back similar to how he was in the entire meta, it would just tear a bunch of decks to shreds.
Yeah, it definitely would.
If they brought back Dominate, like at that point, that's a cancerous thing. Don't do that, please.
I mean, the cancer exists, so.
But
does indeed do.
Cancer.
yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Pretty much.
So I think that's all we have to say on Shiranui.
Yeah.
Thavas.
Huh?
I was wondering if are people at your house yet?
I mean, I think Matt showed up.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
So, Thavas.
That's my boy right there. That is my lad.
Dude, you're just gonna keep going aggro, obviously.
Yeah, this is gonna be another similar Aquaforce deck of aggro. Lambros is probably gonna similarly restand both the units in the front row and give plus an arbitrary amount of power.
It might add a little bit of control since Thavas did have retire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible that it has something like that, but still, this is gonna be like bread and butter. Like it's gonna play similar to Maelstrom, except trade the guard restrict for more power, probably.
And feelings on Lambroke being a grade 4 again?
Oh, he's a grade 4?
Yeah, he's a grade 4.
He's a grade 4 in this deck. That's interesting. Because
Probably some kind of superior ride. Because they're trying to go fast and attack hard.
The problem is that if this card only does something on the turn it's played, it's particularly bad because you can't play it. You can't go down.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can't ride down.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think Lambros will be like super duper great if he's.
What if
great.
what if they added something like at the end of the battle attacked, ride a card from hand, ignoring normal ride rules.
But then we'd start playing around like with mixing into Gear Chronicle, sort of. In which case, that's not something.
It's just Excel Gear Chronicle.
Yeah, which is not something like I don't think Bushiroad's going to play around with. I think Lambros is going to do something like restand, get plus power.
Yeah.
You know,
But
he could be like Arc Saver, where once he's on the Vanguard circle, he tunes down to grade 3.
That's true. That could also happen.
It also could be like Brant, where Thavas and Lambros basically do the same thing, but Lambros does a little bit better.
Could be.
yeah, what my thought is that they're actually going to do different things, and Thavas actually becomes like almost like the old. I think it's like Storm Dominate back in the day.
Yeah.
It becomes like a actual usable rear guard instead of the actual just you have to ride this card and it only does something on Vanguard, because that actually adds utility to having Thavas in the deck and makes Lambros like a sort of added bonus type of thing to it.
Makes sense.
But it's still gonna play like your Tidal Assault. It's gonna play all your good like Aquaforce cards.
Oh yeah, like always.
It just basically is gonna sit there and be like, all right, I'm gonna restand, get plus power, ooga booga, die.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So
God, I hate Aquaforce.
You shut up.
I do.
My boy.
I hate it.
all right.
That's my boy right there.
How about the newest booby dragon? Thank you for pointing that out to me, Hermit.
Wait, we skipped the no image?
Of course, we're skipping the no image. Victor, Victor doesn't have an image. Do we like?
We can still speculate on it because Victor's probably gonna play.
Here we go. This is
we've got like less than.
Here we go. Here's the reference for Victor right here.
Yep. Done. But Victor is probably going to do something. It's going to restand rear guards. It's Nova Grappler.
Yeah.
But
give him power, stuff like that.
Probably after it attacks, restand, give plus sub power or something like that.
Yeah, it's gotta, because if they hit a defensive trigger, Nova's turn just dies.
Yeah, and I think they're not going to do anything with front triggers like they did with God Hand.
Oh, I
don't
hope
think
not.
I don't think this deck is going to be locked into only playing a certain type of trigger. I think it's going to be able to play crits perfectly fine and be happy about it.
So, yeah. Victor, he's a thing. No image yet. Victor
Just
got
gonna
hoed.
be restand Fiesta.
Yeah, pretty much.
Victor got hoed.
Obviously, we all know that the Nova Grappler rear guards are really, really strong.
Yeah, they just need a good grade 3.
Yeah. They just need a good, consistent grade 3 to tie that deck together. That deck's a menace.
Yeah. So, now that we talked about the Ghost, let's talk about Booby Dragon. Once again, I can't not see it, Hermit. And now all of you watching can't not see it.
I don't know why it's got boobies,
Instead
bro.
of a dragon, it looks more like a horse with wings.
It's a dragon.
It's a dragon.
So, yeah, another Astral Poet.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a 12-year-old girl's like drawing, like of her imagination, like a girl.
What are you talking about? That's totally Uranus did the fusion dance with Astrios.
Oh my god.
Oh jeez. But in any case, this is
Even
just
has the hair.
This is Valkyrion support. Maybe finally it can fix the next problem. It goes finds Valkyrion.
Yeah,
Who knows?
that's what I'm thinking. Some sort of Soul Blast cost called Valkyrion to Astral Plane.
I mean, if they do that, that's pretty good. Like, realistically speaking, makes Valkyrie up.
Yeah, and maybe like as a balance factor, maybe require 6 force markers just to search Valkyrion from your deck or something.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, like, realistically, I hope it searches Valkyrion so it can fix
One thing
it.
it could do is it could just Soul Blast Soul Blast or Counterblast, and then look for a unit with a grade equal to or less than the amount of you have on.
That could work. That way, you have to have 5 Lookout Valkyrion, which isn't hard in Genesis.
Yeah, I think that could be something it could do. Plus, you can also just search for other things to get more.
Yeah.
Just in case you have the Valkyrion in hand, you I can just make him stronger.
Yeah.
If you just don't find Valkyrion, the deck just falls flat.
Like that deck does not do a single thing without Valkyrion, and that's it.
Yeah, so...
Which, maybe it fixes that problem. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows?
Yeah, Valkyrion support. Alright, time for Alt Miles' rival when it comes to abs. The furry boy Fenrir.
Yeah. Shout out to the furries out there. You got your Vanguard card.
Well, I mean, they have Isabel, too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She is absolutely a furry. All right. In any case, this deck is going to...
I don't know.
The problem is like we can't say it plays like Ajira because Fenrir played in a way that Bushiro never intended.
Yeah.
They fucking found a rare from the old days and said, "Oh look, we can just loop this guy.
Oh look, we can just loop and restand him." This is not going to do that. It's probably going to soul charge and get plus something. It's gonna soul charge a lot and then soul blast to do a bunch of stuff and whatnot.
We need Genesis decks like that again. Just soul blast a ton and get big effects.
Well, we had that as our first one.
Yeah, it just wasn't very good.
Then we went over to Astral Poet, and Astral Poet said, "No, I'm not really gonna soul charge and soul blast to do a whole lot. I'm just gonna get a bunch of force markers, slap out Kieran, and say go."
Go, boys.
Yeah.
Just JoJo the Clan.
Yeah.
So, until more comes out about him, I don't really think that we can talk about her. And, I do feel bad for Artemis. Oh, my God. I feel really bad for Artemis.
Card sucks.
Card sucks. Anyways.
So, next, Dragonic Descendant.
That boy is going to restand. It's going to be great. If he doesn't restand, I'm disappointed and Bushiroad sucks.
If it's not a restand, not my
not my descendant.
Not my descendant.
It needs to restand.
It needs to restand, man.
Whether it be on Vanguard or your guard circle.
I'm gonna say something blasphemous because I want him to restand. What if? Just what if, since he's got Eradicator in the name, he's back up to Gauntlet Buster.
That's
I can see that.
Yeah,
that's a possibility. I think he's going to be his own deck entirely.
I hope he's his own deck.
I
don't want to say Gauntlet Buster.
I think it'd be fine to have him be another card with Gauntlet Buster, but I don't think he's going to be a backup. I think they're just going to both be separate cards. It's oh, my opponent's good against restands. Slap Gauntlet Buster, swing.
Yeah.
Just like the deck currently is with or rather when the deck was when it came out, when Gauntlet Buster came out, running Drill Boy.
Yeah, Vortex.
That next.
So this next card, I don't understand why his name is this way. He has a pretty small neck for a full Bronto.
That's a big boy, but not really.
So
I'm gonna preface this by saying I don't care what anybody wants. I want that card to not be great. I don't like Narukami. I don't like Vanquisher.
I don't like Vanquisher either.
Yeah,
that's perfectly fair. But this is probably.
Sorry, my bad. I liked old Vanquisher. I liked what they used to do.
This card, speaking from a perspective of what it will do, it's probably going to do something finally that says, hey, if you have X amount of bound cards
do something. Hopefully.
Do things.
Yeah.
That's what the deck should do.
Yeah, Thunderstrike. Yeah.
That's what it should have done all along, but they decided to save it for 2 years into the meta.
Yeah. And at that point, it might be a bit too late because
I don't think it's too late because it has all of the necessary grade 2 and all of that retiring that is really required for
Yeah,
it.
but if your opponent doesn't play anything, then Thunderstrike does nothing.
I mean,
Wait,
that
That's fine,
is
they
what
didn't
it
play
is.
anything.
That's literally how it was up until the end of G era anyway. So
Just bind
So,
stuff.
It's
to the
just a
drop
very
zone.
simple fact of, yes, if you play things, I can retire them and get Thunderstrike. But if you don't, you didn't play anything.
and then I'm just guarding basically a Vanguard attack every turn.
And then
Woo.
the cross just comes out and just
Yeah, and then the cross goes booga booga.
What were you saying? Wait, pause. Hermit was saying something. What were you saying, Hermit?
Again, unpopular opinion. I know everyone wants Thunderstrike to come back, but I think this guy is gonna go a la Soin. I think he's gonna be a first ride for Vanquisher.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't Vanquisher already perfectly sufficient on first ride?
Yeah,
If you had
I
Jaggy
think so.
shot, yeah.
I think so.
If you had Jaggy shot, it could like that. Meh. I don't know. I think it'll be a rear guard. Like I think it'll be something that can be very good on rear guard.
Oh, okay, he technically requires grade 3 install. Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll just be a really good rear guard,
Yeah. That's
which is
fair.
unfortunate, but like whatever.
All right. Next, something I'm personally hyped for: more damage swapping. Hi, No Seal.
Oh, no seal?
Yeah.
Look,
Damage swapping. She's got to do it.
no seal was really only good whenever they thing back in the day. So like I guess she's gonna do damage swapping, but like I have no clue. And
I hope that since this is the grade 3 or the grade 4, I can't tell.
It's grade 4.
Yeah, the grade 4, probably grade 3. Hopefully a grade 3. Since she's in, I'm hoping that we get the grade 1 and 2s like back with their effects.
we already have the grade 1 as a perfect guard, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
but I'm saying I hope we get their effects more or less. Because we need more damage swappers. Because right now in Angel Feather we only have like 1.
That's fair.
And I can't see her not swapping stuff from hand to damage.
Yeah, and in standard, it's perfectly fine to have damage swappers too.
Yeah.
Because most of your cards getting power are once per turn, and they get more power. I think both the grade 1 and the grade 2, the Pegasus or whatever, get 5k once per turn.
Yeah. Speaking of my girl, Gabrielle, I don't know what she's going to do. I just hope
She's
she's
gonna
good.
heal a damage and deal some damage to herself.
I'm really hoping it's
I hope
I think
she
it's gonna be like
gets-
rescue checks.
I hope she gets power for cards that go into damage zone, like the original one.
No.
Yeah, I was about to say like, that's probably a terrible idea. It's probably gonna do something along the lines of
I mean-
rescue checks. That's normal.
But
I could see it happen if it was once per
This
turn.
is the first.
Like once per
this
turn,
is
get
the first
5K.
Gabrielle.
Okay, if it's once per turn, that's fine. If it is multiple times per turn, we have a problem.
How do we have
Yeah.
a problem? We have 1 damage swapper.
And it's not on guard circle, I don't think.
Yeah, we have one damage swapper.
Well, I
That's
think-
not a problem at all.
She's gonna get
Actually,
support.
there's
She's
2.
gonna get a lot of support.
The idea that you get more, because if this is like rescue checking and you get a bunch of power for it, you're gonna have more cards to support that in the set.
Oh, sure. But
yeah, like you can't think of this as only like
I mean, as long as it's not on guard circle, it's reasonably not that bad.
Sure.
Yeah.
yes,
Because like the dumb part was the fact that they just no seal swapped on my turn, and then get it power and I can't hit them.
yeah,
Like,
that
okay.
no seal
Alright.
definitely powered up that deck. I think that if we don't have one like the grade 1 no seal, which we don't, then
Like
her
getting
getting
a ton of power
power.
on their turn, I'm perfectly fine with. A lot of decks gain power on
Yep.
their turn.
like but when you start getting power during my turn outside of triggers, we have a problem.
That's what I was thinking, like
I
a
still
once per turn
think
plus 5k, because we already have a deck that gets plus 5k on the opponent's turn.
I still think that she
MLB.
should get it on the opponent's turn too. It's not that bad, especially considering there are force markers, excel markers, and everybody gains an insane amount of power. Her getting power on the opponent's turn would not be bad. It wouldn't be
Well, Virgil, it's just
overpowered.
the fact that like, okay, so let's look at the deck currently that has power on opponent's turn. Majesty Lord.
Mhm.
That deck is already super fucking annoying and good because it's an 18k on opponent's turn. That after
Yep.
1 damage trigger is a 28k.
Well, at the same time, it also gets a crit,
Yeah.
and it has force, so they hit for ridiculously massive numbers.
Fair.
and they create 2 force markers every single turn.
Yeah. So looking
I
at
guess
that,
if they went
and
all
then
in on the defense, but then the deck wouldn't be good.
looking
Like,
at
I think
that,
to
and
make
then looking at
Gabriel
this.
good, we give her 5k on opponent's turn, and then have good superior calls and attacks on your turn.
Right. I want her to be good. That's all there is. I want the ability to play defensively because I have always liked playing defensively. That's my thing.
I want her to look at Malkuth Malek and make that concept better.
Yeah,
Because he was
I think
such
so,
an
too.
interesting card that just didn't get pulled off well.
Yeah, he really didn't. Either way, Gabrielle is very hype for me. I really hope that she does something kind of like her Giera. The first version. I actually didn't really like the second version of Gabrielle.
The second version was really interesting. It was just all in on rescue.
Yeah, but then you just deck out before you got to do anything. So,
Next, right?
now we're going to talk about the strongest card in the game. The absolute strongest card in the game. This fucking horse.
Where's this horse?
You gotta
at?
change it. There you go.
Yeah, this fucking horse.
Strongest card.
Oh, and I mean, he's wearing his limiter on the card, so he's not going to be that good, so here's Gurgwit.
That's fair. I'm excited about Gurgwit. I think Gurgwit's gonna be cool. I hope he's a defensive gold paladin deck.
Yeah, same here.
I agree.
Calling cards, but like
Superior calling the card circle is so interesting back in the day.
Yeah, it was.
Like I think he's going to be fairly interesting because it's going to basically change up. I think it's going to change up how Gold Paladin plays because we've had Ezel and we've had Agravain, which is Ezel's a bunch of spear riding and Agravain is a bunch of beat your face type of crap.
I mean, Agravain is related, basically OG Gold Paladin strats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to swing, superior call, and swing again. That's the same thing that Gurgrit used to do, but like Gurgrit also had defensive cards.
Yeah.
It had a defensive thing. So like the first Gurgrit superior called from the top of deck to guard circle. The second one just said you could intercept with anything on your board.
Yeah. In which case, I think this is probably going to go along the lines of like the second one. I don't
really
know.
hope
If it went the
doesn't,
second one, it'd be
because
bad.
It might just be an Actel Ultimal at that point, and I don't want that.
I hope that it's the first one because the superior calling from the top of the deck actually like
That's
even
actually
if,
useful.
Like I think it could even go as far as looking at the top 3 to superior call at that point. Because
that's almost what he used to. He used to do top 4. Choose one and guard with it.
Yeah, he used to. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's counterblast 1, counterblast 1, soul blast 1. Check top 4. Put a card from onto guard circle. And so you specifically ran worse PGs in that deck because they can be placed from anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
They made a place from hand.
Yeah.
So you know that's that gets around a lot of the guard restrict. And, yeah.
I generally think that like this deck should be interesting. If it's not interesting, I'm disappointed.
Yeah,
but
same here.
If it is interesting, I'm happy. I enjoy it then.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it goes along the lines of breaking like what you think decks are, which is what I generally want for most of these like new units coming out to do, because we've thought about these decks in like this very linear way.
Yeah.
That we now need to be like, well, now we could just completely change how they play, and for better or for worse, honestly, but that's fine.
You know what? I'd actually, going back to Nociel and Gabrielle, I'd actually be fine with Nociel being a damage swap version and Gabrielle being a whole new ability.
Like, I'd be fine with that, too.
Yeah. So, that's all the cards that we have to speculate on, because we all pretty much... well, you know what? Sanctuary Guard, gonna do stuff grade 1s. We all know this.
Yeah, it's gonna be Royal Paladin grade 1. It's gonna look at Altmile and say, yeah, I do you, but I'm grade 1 instead. I hate that deck. That deck could go burn in a hole. I don't like that deck coming out in Bermuda Triangle. Guess what? We're probably finally going to get... What the heck was that? I don't remember what that chick's name was.
Jesus.
Shut up. Don't bring it up. Shut up.
Talking about Virgil's waifu?
No, not that.
Either way, continue. Ian.
Well, I'm trying to find this card real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Loris. Yeah, we're getting Loris probably.
Either way,
Okay.
Sanctuary Guard was a fucking annoyance.
Yeah, and that deck's probably going to be very similar in
The deck was
annoyance
super
level.
cool when the Sanctuary Guard Arc or whatever came out.
Arc, yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting and just fun. But like, it got disgusting because of the cards they had. I'm like, I don't want to play
Well,
this deck anymore.
it wasn't even the cards; it was the mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
How you could sit on grade 2, look at your opponent, and say you can't stride, and
Yeah.
it's like,
No,
you're
okay.
right. But,
It was so bad they literally had to come up with a workaround for it.
yeah, they literally had to print a card because they had to fix this problem.
Yeah, like that's yeah. It. I don't. I'm not looking forward to Sanctuary Guard at all.
Neither. Well, I'm fine with Sanctuary Guard because we don't have. A lot of these cards don't have the restriction needed, but I'm still not happy Sanctuary Guard is coming back because that deck can actually just die and I could care less.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember when they banned Slammy and Sanctuary Guard.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I remember them days. I'm that old.
So here's a card that has no restrictions, but we're going to tell you can only play it in a deck that runs 8 Jewel Knights. What?
Yep. Wait, what?
And
The restriction on it was all your grade 3s had to be Jewel Knights to be able to play the card.
And so the last set that we could even remotely talk about would be Bermudas, and I don't think we have any idea about anything when it comes to Bermuda.
They
Outside
do
of
literally
Loris.
anything they want.
Yeah.
Well, we are probably getting Loris back, and maybe we go back to bouncing units finally.
I mean, isn't that what Hello Happy World does?
Yeah, I think
Discount duos in disguise.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We're probably getting we're probably getting Loris back, and Loris is probably going to do a bunch of like Harmony things, and it's going to be fun and entertaining, and probably busted because let's face it, Bermuda Triangle and Standard every time
Always
it's come out
has
has been
been.
meta breaking.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand how they can break a meta that has the cross.
Bermuda Triangle will do it,
They're
man.
gonna try.
They'll find a way. When there's a will, there's a way, and they'll do it.
Yeah, you remember Riviere?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Although I do have to say one thing: a striking omission is the Bang Dream set.
Yeah.
What's up?
So,
Bang
from
Dream.
our
Yeah.
lineup. So,
We're not getting Idle Hell in US.
and thank God we are not.
Yeah,
Where's
I
my
mean,
sort of
I don't want it.
combined Vanguard set?
Titles.
I don't want it, but it is a pretty striking omission.
Where's
Yes.
my Sword Art Online
So-
Vanguard set?
So this is nothing new if you play Weiss to any competitive
Yeah.
degree. For them to omit sets, like to me, this seems like they wanted to print something for Japan only, and they're going to try and keep it that way. We may get it in the 2021 year, but at that point, like
It'll be irrelevant, right?
it might be irrelevant. It might be irrelevant, or like maybe it just like comes in like maybe 1 or 2 decks are playable
Yeah.
instead of nearly all of them. And that's sort of like what I'm thinking they're doing is they realize they messed up. These cards are powerful, and admittedly, I wouldn't actually mind it getting now because we are getting the cross.
Yeah.
And I sort of want a deck that can contend with that, and Hello Happy World seems to be okay with it.
So, by the way, I for people who have watched this podcast before, I retract my statement about Bang Dream probably being shit because I was wrong.
That turns out those decks are busted. They print Bang Dream in any game. Any game Bang Dream exists, it's busted. Just don't pretend like it isn't.
Oh man,
I remember playing it when
I
kicked my butt.
very much was like, oh, they're doing the exact same thing they did with Token Rambu. It's not going to be that good because Token Rambu wasn't that good. So
Yeah,
the Token Renbu set 3 was fucking amazing in Japan.
in Japan,
yeah. In Japan.
We never
Guess
got
what?
set 3.
Yeah, guess what? We never got that.
And one last topic before we close. Full Gown, Tachikaze, or something new?
So in terms of the name and Tachikaze, that doesn't That seems like a really weird thing.
It does. It really does.
What did
Like
you say?
that.
The new Vanguard series.
'Cause
Overdress. Sorry, my bad.
Overdress.
My bad. Full gown
Overdress.
overdress. I don't know where full gown came from.
It could be a mistranslation thing.
Full Gown is the manga web series comics thing.
Oh, thank you. Overdress.
But Overdress and Tachikaze that doesn't seem to really mix all that well.
Yeah, but the
I think
aesthetic.
it's Narukami.
It looks like.
It does look like a
Itachi's.
dragon, but you also see light.
Well, you also
It
see
looks
like
like
an
dragon
egg.
egg.
It looks like an egg.
It's definitely gonna have an evolution, right?
It definitely looks like it. And I'm not saying this isn't a possibility or anything, but I generally believe it's probably going to be it has to be either like a completely new clan.
Yeah, that's
which
what I was thinking,
it's not,
honestly.
It's not something I really want, but it's fine at that point.
So
we all know it's going to be
theoretically,
we all know it's going to be a Dragon Empire clan because look at it.
I would just love to see a main character just not using a Force clan right now.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah,
It's
right.
an empire, but it's for sale.
There was a manga for Vanguard that they made with a new clan, and the character in that manga kind of looks like the character image that we saw, but the bird does not.
Right.
And so it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that clan? It was like Star something, I think.
Star Road Oscar?
Star Union?
Yeah.
Yeah, Star Union. That was the clan that came out in that manga.
Oh, no, Unionverse.
Or Universe, yeah, something like that. We need to be able to get the manga easier, by the way.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But
it's Unionverse is a Stargate clan.
And does this possibly come into the game? I honestly have no idea. This overdress thing is it's too much to try and speculate on that. It's I'm not trying to formulate an opinion of it yet because I'll end up becoming just either happy or disappointed, and I'm more just willing to hear more information before I determine anything.
Yeah, I was just trying to think about what clan it could possibly be, even if it's a new one.
Yeah, it's probably. I think it'll be a new one, but
I'm hoping it's gonna be a new one.
All right.
Are we?
The clan list is pretty packed as is, but
yeah,
we have gone over time. So Snugfly, if you would take over.
Thank you for watching and/or listening, and until next time, have a good day. Peace.
Oh, geez, hold on a second.
Whoa,
Give me a second.
Gotta show a little bit more enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Also, thank you to people who are here. Our guests.
What's up, Trey? What's up? All right, let me so that had let me put some emphasis on this. All right, boys. Everybody who joined the chat, everything, played along, went through this entire stream, 2 hours, 18 minutes long. Thank y'all for joining. It was a lot of fun. I just this is a fun thing. I know people in this chat. I know everybody here actually.
yeah.
So
honestly, it was a great time.
thanks. So
Thank you all for having us on.
thank you to all of our guests. Actually, we would love to have you on again sometime.
For sure.
The
I'd be
podcast.
down to be on again.
The podcast will be lowering its amount of main cast so that we can kind of avoid talking over people and so on and so forth. So until next time, guys, we have had Big Cam, number 2 Buddy Fight Player of the World, forever.
My game.
We've had Ian. We have had Tiberius. We have had what does he even want me to call him? Tyler. We have had Bryden, Hermit, Snugfly, and of course Virgil. So until next time, y'all have a good one.
Thank y'all.